Hello, my darlings. Mama Lou here. I just wanted to do a reading. I was getting lots of messages today, and so I'm not 100% sure what all I'm doing as far as the reading goes, but they're coming in hot, and so I thought I would spend some time with you if you want to come hang out with Mama Lou and find out what exactly is going on. This feels a little bit like this feels a bit like a spiritual message. This feels a little bit like a, I'm really trying to figure out what this one is. It came in a little odd. It came in a little strong. And so I'm just trying to ask if they can kind of help us find out what this message is and what exactly I'm supposed to be sharing. At first I was like, is this a pick a card? Is this something like that? But it's almost more for a broad range of people. So please take what resonates, leave what does not. Because this is definitely coming out as a collective reading. So like I said, this isn't, I'm hoping it's kind of broad, but I also hope that it gives us some details because I'm a little bit confused about what all it is. Yeah, we're getting the whole spectrum today of different things. They even had me, which is weird, they don't normally do this, they even had me, they even had me bring my phone into the room with me, which I don't normally do, but they said that they might need to have me mention some songs, and they'll let me know what those songs are, but it seems like there's songs that are not a part of the mixtape oracle, but possibly one of the other playlists that I have going on here. Oh my goodness, these are just flying out, you guys, and there's a lot of them. I'm just trying to get them to start showing me a picture here, and then I will get into what exactly I'm seeing with all the cards. I did get the message that this is for the rest of February. So I generally like to do my readings as timeless, but for some reason, this one, like I said, it came in hot, came in a little urgent, it came in broad, and so that was the only narrowing factor I had when I was asking about, is this a, pick a card or something? And they were like, no, it's not. But then they were like, but it is for February. And I was like, okay, well, that's helpful. Okay, so, and that's the last one. Okay. I'm using the Witch's Tarot for this. That's the one they asked for, so we're going to do that. Like I said, I may randomly have to do a song or something like that because they want me to get into the reading first. Like I said, this is something about from now until the end of February. But if you're seeing this after February, take what resonates. Same message, same thing, whatever it is. Okay, so this, how do you want me to do this? Okay. Okay, we're building from the bottom up, actually. They put the ones at the top, okay. All right, will do. Okay, so, alrighty. The first card that came at the bottom is kind of like the energy that you need to be tossing. This is the stuff you need to exit from your life. Do it in whatever ways, judiciously and safely for you, but this is the vibe. They're like, this is the stuff we need you to not focus on and actually kind of extract from your life. The first one is the King of Wands. The first word that came to my mind is letting go of your pride, letting go of your ego or things like that. Ego's not a bad thing. I don't think ego's a bad thing, but too much, or if that's all that you care about, if that's all you drive, your image, how people perceive you, what people think of you, your outward, are you rich and famous, or are you, a great business person? Are you, just all about your looks? Are you all about these things? No judgment in any of this stuff. This is just the message of the stuff that you want to start moving away from. Like I said, this might be a little bit more of a spiritual message, so take take it for what it is. But there's something here about you being a little smug about something, maybe even being a little overconfident about something. And you kind of almost think that maybe the rules don't apply to you anymore. Maybe you've ascended, or maybe you think that you've reached a pinnacle and you don't need to keep learning, or you don't need to keep trying to push yourself or accomplishing yourself. This is kind of you sitting back and resting on, I think it's the word like resting on your laurels. I don't know. It's an old timey folksy saying, but that's the words that they're coming to my head. So that's what I'm saying. But there's something here about you being a little bit big for your britches right now. Maybe you need to get knocked down a few pegs. Maybe you got to, I don't know what this is. Maybe your child's being unruly and you need to be like, hey, now you're pushing. It feels like someone who's really trying to push the boundaries either with you or you really pushing the boundaries with the people around you. Whatever this is you being a little domineering, a little opinionated, a little bit too in your face about something. So this is the energy that they're saying you need to start moving away from. This is not serving your highest good because you just you're sitting back and you're just like, I'm done now. I got it all figured out. It kind of has that whole when you meet someone and they're like, you can't tell them anything because they think they know it all and they think that they've got it all figured out. Well, this is the way we've done it. And like that old school mentality, even of just like, it worked for me, it'll work for you kind of energy. This is kind of that energy that this card is giving off. This could be someone in your life. This could be you yourself. Take it for how it works for you. But this energy is coming in really strong. You don't need this. This is not helping you, whatever this is, whether it's another person, whether it's yourself, whether it's your attitude, whether it's, your home life, your partner, your job, your career, your business, whatever these things are, you just sitting back right now is not going to work. You've stopped innovating. You've stopped listening. You've stopped being open to new adventures, new ideas, new concepts, you're not fresh no more. Like in this card, he's kind of meant to kind of be the, snazzy wazzy of the old wands there. He's kind of the ultimate charm and amazement, not gender specific, but this is generally that kind of energy. And now in this day and age, or in this at least the energy I'm getting in, it's coming across false. It's coming across a little smarmy. It's coming across a little like dated. It's coming across as egotistical, even a little pig-headed, a little just like too full of itself, whatever this energy is. It just thinks a little too highly of itself. And so, like I said, whether that's another person in your life, whether that, if you're like, ooh, I feel called out. I'm sorry, I'm mama. I got to tell you what I see. But that's the energy that I'm really getting with this one. It really feels very past its expiration date, whatever this is. It feels like this is low vibe energy now, whereas before maybe it was high vibe energy. Maybe once he got to this place in his life, it was like, yeah. And then they just kind of were okay with that. And that's great. Celebrate your wins. I'm not saying anything like that. This is just the idea of like there's those people who still relive the glory days, like I'm going to do the cliche one because it's in movies and it's easy to use as an example. But, the guy who still talks about his football days when he's in his 60s, and he hasn't really moved beyond that. That was the high point in his life or her life, whatever. But that kind of energy is like, okay, you can't keep living forever off of past progressions or past victories or past, it's like the story's been told. The story's been told. Everybody's heard it. You've told it to everybody. Okay, we get it. What have you done since then? What are you doing to progress from that point? What are you doing? Are you literally just going to sit there and keep trying to make it seem like you're still relevant or that you're still, still got that innovative, ideas and you're a real go-getter? It feels like if this is the energy on the bottom that I'm getting, I'm sorry, this message is going to be pretty harsh, but I'm just telling you, this is the stuff that you need to let go of. This is no longer serving you. It's no longer serving anybody around you. And if this is another person, this person's just going to keep you stuck in a loop. And that's not what you need right now. Because the energy that I was getting at the beginning is kind of like a awakening energy. This is not awakening energy. It's down at the bottom, which they said the whole row on the bottom is what needs to go. So that's how I'm taking that message. So that was the first card. Second card, 5 of Cups. You going to keep crying over stuff that didn't work out for you? You're going to just, every time something bad happens, you're just going to go through the whole emotional turmoil of it? If all you're focusing on is past hurts, past regrets, negative emotions, bad feelings, depression, anxiety, different things like this, if that's what you want to focus on, guess what? That's what you're going to focus on. You're not going to be able to focus on anything else. You're not going to be able to see anything else. I mean, she's literally a mermaid by the most beautiful ocean in the world, and she's crying over some cups with some water in it. She could literally be living in water and enjoying her life and being free and open and honest and amazing and travel and adventure and do all these other things. But no, she's literally just sitting there crying over spilled milk, kind of a thing, and seeming to be okay in it. Like, she sat down, she's chilling, she is hanging out, and she is literally just she's being morose. She's being a real downer. It's really bummy. It's really like, okay, but just look around. Turn around. You see the freaking ocean behind you? What are you crying about? Like, yeah, it's okay. Yeah, it's sad. But how long are you going to sit there and just live in that sadness? How long are you going to just live in that martyrdom or that depression or the why me's or the what's wrong? Like, you're focusing on everything that's wrong instead of everything that's right behind you. Right behind you. All that stuff. Yeah, puns are fun. But you know what I mean? Like, it's literally just because guess what? Letting it go means not being able to use it as an excuse anymore. Letting it go means not being able to, tell everybody your sob story. Like I said, this message came in hot and hard, so I'm just trying to tell you what I got from that. That was not meant to sound as bad as it was, but that's what I got. So this is like, okay, so there's more to you than gaining sympathy. There's more to you than gaining attention. There's more to you than gaining, people to feel bad for all you've been through. Everybody's been through shit. Everybody has. And it's all horrible. It is. If you're trying to compare what's happened to you to other people, yes, there is a spectrum. But when it comes down to it, everybody has to walk this life. Everybody has to decide for themselves whether they're going to move forward or whether they're going to continue to live in the past. And that's the message that I got. And this is the stuff that they're talking about needs to get yeeted. It needs to start moving away. You need to start turning your back on these things. You need to start working towards something new. Something new. That's what I got. Because right now it feels like the energy I'm getting of this is there's a lot of fear of doing what you genuinely want to do. How many times do someone's like, you're what are you doing? You're like, oh, nothing, or even, how are you doing? Fine. We kind of live in this mediocre world where everything just needs to be level. Otherwise you're riding too high or riding too low, and there's no in between. It almost feels like, for some reason with this, it's like which way are you wanting it? Like there's nothing wrong with being high on life. There's nothing wrong with being excited about something that interests you. There's nothing weird about wanting to follow your own dreams and your own passions. We are just in a society that wants us to stay stagnant, wants us to stay level, doesn't want us to get too one way or too another way in anything that we do, like don't overextend yourself, but also, you need to really be working hard on something, otherwise you're lazy. I mean, the contradictions out there are ridiculous. And this pretty much, to me, makes me feel like they're saying, cut out the noise. What do you want? Not what's being given to you. What do you want? This feels internal. Have you sat with yourself recently? Have you talked to yourself recently? Maybe what you wanted before, is that still what you want? If so, what are you doing about it? What are you doing about it? Are you still just dreaming and hoping? Sometimes there's circumstances where you need to wait and everything like that, but it's important to reevaluate. It's important to reassess. It's important to re-strategize. Whatever these things are, make sure it's because it's what you want to do, not because you don't want to be too out of the box or you don't want to be too, extreme one way or the other. I'm not saying you have to be a workaholic or you have to be, someone who's just like, hey man, chill, whatever. It just feels like you need to do you regardless of the circumstances, regardless of all the things that I could have, would have, should have, or I want, but I can't have, or I can't do this yet, or the excuses for why you're not pursuing your dreams, why you're not doing the things that you want to do. Because honestly, there's very little that you can't do if you want to do it. There's very little. I mean, I'm not going into, crimes and stuff like that. I'm just talking about as far as your dreams, your path, your spiritual motivation, your drive, whatever these things are, you're the only one holding yourself back. You're the only one. You are. I mean, you can be doing your passion and you don't have to be rich and famous. You don't have to be, of a certain class of society to be able to go after what you want. It may be more difficult for you. It is. Privilege is a thing and it fucking sucks. But it's just kind of one of those things of like, that energy out is the energy in. That energy out is that energy in. And I'm not saying that it's not harder, like I said, for some people than other people. It is. It is. Doesn't matter. It just is. It's just a matter of what are you doing about it? What are you doing that you can do about it? Even if it's just little things, maybe you can't be, some, artist that doesn't get a work, because you just, a millionaire or something like that. That doesn't mean you can't do little things. It doesn't mean that you can't do little things on the side just because it's what you enjoy, it's what you love, and it's important because it speaks to your livelihood, like what drives you, your passion, your wishes, hopes, aspirations, all of those things. So that's what I got with that. And then the last thing, this kind of ties in too, Queen of Pentacles in reverse. This is self-doubt. This is not believing that you can do all the things that you think you do. Maybe you think you're not smart enough. Maybe you think that you don't have enough education. What if you say something that you're not supposed to? What if you make a mistake? What if it's a lot of anxieties, fears, internal war with yourself. And again, it kind of goes back to that you're giving yourself obstacles that aren't there. You're giving yourself obstacles rather than giving yourself solutions. Because it's easier to come up with obstacles of why not to do something than it is to come up with reasons why to push yourself to do something, because that's harder. It takes more work. It takes more focus. It takes more determination. It takes more positive self-talk to yourself. It's talking yourself up. If you're having those conversations with yourself and you're like, hey, I'm not good at this or I'm not good at that. Okay. Is that stopping you from even starting? Or is that something that while you're waiting to start, can you start reading a book about it? Can you start doing some research on it? Can you start practicing? Can you start doing anything to keep you working towards those things? Because it's always easier just to not do something. It's always easier just to say, well, maybe in the future, because the more you put it off, you kind of can just come up with other things to do to fill your time. And that's kind of that energy. This whole row on the bottom is what we need to start. Whoop, whoop, swoop it out. That's what I got with it. So, like I said, it's a little in your face, universe, but that's the message. So, all right, we're going to move on to the second row. And what is this supposed to be? Okay. All right, so the second row here is kind of a bit of a roadmap. I don't know what that means yet, so I'm going to just start reading the cards and seeing if that gives me anything else. The roadmap, like a spiritual roadmap or a help motivate roadmap. I don't really know. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Like I said, first card you got is Two of Wands. Wow. Okay. First message that came in is a little bit of, okay, can you slow down, please? Okay. So the first thing here that I see is that kind of with this one as well, it was right below it, the King of Wands to this one, is this may feel a little bit like a reboot. This may feel a little bit like a restart, like you're starting from scratch. Like maybe you, like I deal with this. As technology changes, I have a really hard time keeping up with it. I really do. So if someone has been kind of sitting back on the whole like, oh, I don't need to know anything about, freaking webcams and and ring lights and boom mics and all these other things, this may be where you might need to do some re-educating yourself. You might need to get into some nitty-gritty stuff that doesn't necessarily interest you, but it helps move your plans forward. Because he's literally holding the world in his hands. So he needs to kind of be a jack of all trades. He needs to be able to, if you're going to be moving forward, you need to be pretty well-rounded. You need to have a good understanding of what you know and what you don't know. What can be brought from the past, and then what is something like he's literally holding the new stick in front of him, and he's like, or the new wand, a stick, new wand in front of him, like, okay, this is the next adventure. I need to learn technology, or I need to read these books, or I need to understand this part of law, mechanics, psychiatry, whatever these things are. Take it and put it in your position. And look at it as your next adventure. Don't look at it as like, I don't want to learn all this stuff. I don't want to do all these things. I don't want to have to change. This card, there it is. Okay, thank you. This card is about you maybe getting a little stuck in your ways a little bit. There's a Chris Webby song called Stuck in My Ways. And this is you getting out of that and changing. This is you being like, I gotta change. What they say, like, can't teach old dog new tricks. I don't believe that. Totally can. We're humans. We're not dogs. We can totally learn new tricks. And if we want to, if we choose to, if we're willing to let the past go and the new world in front of us lead us. We have to adapt. We have to change. We have to morph. We have to adjust. We can't just be sitting back being like, There are generations before us that did that, and we're in this position. Can we learn from someone's mistakes? Let's do that. That's the energy I'm getting. And yeah, then you got the Hermit. This may take some self-realization. This may take a hard look in the mirror just to be honest with yourself, to be able to see exactly where you are. You're literally standing on top of this mountain. You have the best view of yourself at this moment. You have the best perspective. And you may need to take some time to get that perspective. Be honest with yourself. Don't try and make excuses for yourself. You're never going to be able to progress if you can't even be honest with your own self. If you can't even talk honestly to yourself and admit to how you are, who else is going to? Then you're just putting on a front for everybody. This is you having that look in the mirror with yourself and being like, yep, some of these things I don't quite like. Some of these things I think are great. And not putting a negative or a positive on either of those, but accepting all of them and learning how to work with them. The hermit is the wise old sage. They have been through it. They have walked the walk. They have struggled. They have persevered. They have conquered. He's at the top of the mountain. That's a long climb. He didn't stop. He made it. So this is someone who knows what it takes. This is someone who doesn't dismiss the pain or the heartache or the hurt or the tiredness, the fatigue that it takes to work on yourself. They know that. They've reached that point. And once you do that, you see yourself so much more clearly. You understand yourself so much more clearly, which makes it so that this change is possible, so that you can be yourself and follow your own, I don't know, your own initiative, your own zaza, whatever that is. It's you following your own true north, your own path. You think that the way up to that mountain was well tread, it's got like pavement and some park benches on the way up? No, because everybody's path is different and everybody's top of the mountain is different and everybody's journey is different. And that kind of sucks because there's no real, there it is. There's no real roadmap for everybody because everybody has to walk it themselves. Thank you. That was nice. So that's the message. And then you got the Fool in reverse. This is you not making some ridiculously naive jump just into the unknown. This is much more of a calculated move. This isn't you just being like, well, here we go. In a way, it may feel risky. It may feel like a big change. It may feel like you're, stepping out on the side of society, or you're doing something in a way that's new and different and innovative and unexpected. And it may make you feel like, oh no, I'm going to just keep this in. I'm going to just suppress this dream. I'm just going to suppress this leap, whatever this is. And it feels like that's what you need to get over. You need to get over the idea that you doing something outside of the box is foolish, but rather it's exactly what you desire, what you need. This was right below it. You don't have to fit into some box because, like I said, everybody has their own road. Everybody has their own target. Everybody has their own journey to go on. And it doesn't matter where you start. The fool's journey starts wherever you decide it's going to start. Like we all go through them multiple times. I'm not saying that, but there has to be a point where you decide to restart, not just sit here. You need to push yourself to constantly be evolving and growing. That's the message there. And then you got the Nine of Wands in reverse. This one's going to come across harsh because it's also right here. Yes, you've worked hard. Yes, you've been burned. Yes, things didn't work out. Maybe you had a job that you got fired from. Maybe you had a relationship that ended badly. Maybe you had, tragedy in your life. You may have had all those things. But when you constantly are just focusing, again, on all of those things you don't have, or the times where you got, the times you got beat, the times when someone outmaneuvered you, the times when a job let you down or a person let you down, it feels like you're not remembering the fighter that you are. You are a freaking savage. You are a freaking fighting machine. When you remember, you're still standing. You're here. You are still on this plane of existence. Don't discount your strength. Don't discount your courage to even be getting here. The world is not great all the time. It's not. Has awesome parts and has negative parts. That's just life. But when you're focusing on when did I persevere? How did I do that? How did I know, like what move to make? Why was I more adventurous when I was younger? Or why was I more adventurous when I was living in this place rather than in this place? Why was I more bold with this boss but not this boss? Why was I more courageous, during these really terrifying times where I just stepped up and I just did what I needed to do? It feels like you've kind of forgotten who you are. You need to start talking yourself up. You need to start giving yourself some credit. You need to start being more passionate about you, not about everything else. You should be that passionate and willing to fight that hard for yourself as you are for other people or other things you have or other things you want. This feels very much like you need to start fighting for yourself and what you want, you need, you desire, and what you're trying to manifest. That's the message I got from that. All right, what is this one up here? Okay. This is the stuff that as you do this, that will start inviting, the energy that you will start inviting in. Is that what you're saying? So this one was the yeet, this one is the in, whatever that is. You got the Three of Pentacles. This one is I always like the Witch's Tarot, the Three of Pentacles, because normally it's like three people working together. This person is alone, like really into something, like they are studying or they are just working hard at what they got going on. And it feels like they're kind of taking in a lot of different information points is what I get from this. They are, it feels very magician energy to me, in the way of like, they're trying to get all of their tools together and they're studying up, like they're heading to a midterm for the different elemental energy that they need. This is like very studious energy to me. This is kind of like what I was talking about before. Do you need to read a book? Do you need to take a class? Do you need to just watch a bunch of YouTube videos? Do you need to go and do a conference? Do you need to, whatever these things are, if you do that, this person actually starts to put pieces together. It feels like they're putting the puzzle pieces together, kind of like the natural Three of Pentacles is. It's the collaboration. It's bringing it from here into existence. It's bringing it, it's very manifesting with from a multitude of different energies coming together and creating, and it's almost like he's got the perfect potion right there. Like it's the perfect mix of everything you need can come together when you put in that energy. He's not just, hoping someone else tells him what to do. He's learning it for himself so he can do it. So he can say, I know how to do it. I wasn't told how to do it. Like when there's certain teachers that do, just PowerPoint presentations, and then there's other ones who are like hands-on. For me, the hands-on one, because it's that way, I can do it. Or you drive somewhere. If I'm driving, I'll remember how to get there after the first time because I did it. This feels very much like you do, and then you'll know. You do, and then you'll know. That's the message I got with that. So then you got the Four of Swords in reverse. This is enough. This is like, okay, enough stewing. You've done the stewing. You've done the thinking. You've thought about every angle. You've done it. Very good. But now it's time, okay, now do something with it. Kind of similar to this. Okay, you've been studying. Maybe you've been studying. Maybe you've been working on something. Maybe you've been having one of those rest moments of where the universe is like, hey, pause. This is saying, like I said, this is the time frame between now and the end of February. It's going to be time for you to start putting this into action. Rest time is over. Sleepy time is over. You rested, so now you can literally hit the ground running. This is like, you've been resting, let's move it. You've had time to contemplate. Is it time to work the plan? I know you've got the plan. I know you've been stewing. I know you've been fretting. I know you've been doing all these things. What's the first step? And then take that first step. Move it. Go. That's the energy. Because the next card is the Two of Cups. This may open you up to new relationships, new love, new family, new appreciation for yourself, especially after this card, you know. This is you meeting people like-minded. You're not hanging out with the people who are just kind of stuck in the rut or just old school and don't want to move. This is you finding your people, finding your connections, finding, you know, this could even be networking, different avenues opening up for you because you've been studying these different things. You know, like maybe you've been studying chemistry and now all of a sudden you're like, I want to be a phlebotomist or something. I don't know how to say that word, and I don't know why that came in my mouth because I don't know how to say it, but that's what I got. But this just feels like opening connections, opening doorways in some way, being someone who can communicate with on an intellectual and emotional level because it's something you actually care about. You know, like when sometimes you just talk about your job and it's like, yeah, I did this paperwork and blah, 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 blah. Because nobody's passionate about paperwork. Okay, maybe there's some people who are, but when it comes down to it, when you talk about work, it's like, how's work? Fine. You know, kind of that same sort of a of a vibe I was talking about before. You know, let's not live in the fine. And this feels like if you're doing these things, if you're taking these leaps, if you're not worried about fitting into some sort of specific mold, you will find like-minded people. You will find others, and you can work together, Three of Pentacles, to start creating the actual kinds of relationships or partnerships or investments or, you know, community or whatever these things are. You will actually start finding people who are like-minded, who also are trying to progress, who are also trying to move forward, who have the same sort of higher vibe, not this low vibe energy, where they're like, yeah, I've dealt with a lot of stuff, but look at this. Look at this. I've created this whole business and blah, 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 and it's awesome. You want to do that too? All right, let's share ideas. It just feels a little bit more upbeat. It looks a little bit more positive. And the Two of Cups is a positive card. It's you knowing yourself because you've already done this work. And it's you being like, I know me. And when you meet someone like you on the same vibration, on the same course, or on the same, you know, aura, whatever that connection is, you're going to be like, that. And it's going to make you feel good. It's going to make you feel positive. It's going to make you be like, why did I ever stay here? Or why was I always so bummed out and you know, boo-hooing about everything? And why was I so scared that I was the only one? Look, there's a bunch of people just like me, you know? And why was I making all these excuses? I wish I would have done this sooner. I wish I would have done it sooner. That's what I get with that. Because, yeah, you got the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. It's time to start working. He's the slowest freaking knight in the whole deck. And it's like, okay, yes, you can be methodical, but at some point, are you going to start going? Okay, you know, this isn't going to start planting itself. We're not going to have anything to sow if we don't start, you know, if we don't start planting, you know, like you got to start getting going. You need to start planting those seeds. You need to start getting motivated, because this comes right after this. They're both in freaking reverse. Don't make the excuses. Don't make excuses for yourself. And then guess what? You're not so slow. Like if this is the things that can come in your life, it means you're not going to have to work so slowly. It will come faster because you're not being caught up in the what ifs, the coulds, the shoulds. I'm not saying you're making like dumb risks or not even contemplating, you know, the different options. But this is you, like, once you do make that decision, you act on it. And guess what? If it wasn't the right decision, you adjust, you change, you move, you do all the things that everybody does when they're trying to create something. You have to pivot sometimes. You have to move. You have to adjust. You have to understand that there's factors that are outside your control. It just happens. And not to let that just stop you in your tracks and be like, nope, I'm not moving. This is you being like, I'm going to keep moving. Maybe adjusting on the fly sometimes, but I'm going to keep moving. I'm determined because I fight for myself. I believe in myself, and there's nothing for me to worry about because I stand in my own power. It's a pretty cool message, actually. The last card that came out, actually, is it was out of nowhere, just on the side, so I don't know what this final message is about. But the High Priest, also known as the Hierophant in the regular one, but I like the Witch's Tarot because, the High Priest, what I get from this is, go against convention, and also, you don't need a go-between. You don't need a go-between between you, your higher self, your consciousness, your subconsciousness, your ancestors, the universe, your God, your religion, whatever those things are. You are your own conduit. You don't need someone else to tell you what to do, how to become enlightened or anything like that. It's within you. You're a child of the universe, so it's within you. Be your own in between, and it's not going to be the same for everyone. This goes against convention. This goes against, like someone telling you what to do. This is like no longer letting people tell you what to do because you are in tune with yourself, your higher self. And you're like, no, I know what works for me. This, and this works for me. Or like maybe you have a way, this is how I manifest. This gets me the results I want. That's what I do. You don't need someone else to tell you how to wield your universal consciousness. It's something you learn and you practice and you hone. It's always something that you're going to be doing. And this generally feels to me that it's kind of time to take control of your own spiritual journey. Do you need advice from everybody in the world to tell you what your intuition probably already has told you? You need to start listening to hear and hear and hear. Your gut, your heart, your head, your intuition, all of those things, they will tell you because they know you, they are you. So start listening to it. That's how you're going to progress through this spiritual journey over the next couple weeks. I don't know. But yeah, that's the message I got with that. I'm going to see if there's any songs that they generally want me to put with this one because there was a couple that came out. Okay. They told me to bring my phone, so I brought it. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you the songs that they had me do. I will put them down in the description box. Listen to them. See if any of them ping anything with you, if this pulls any more information. But this is what I got. Chemtrails Over the Country Club by Lana Del Rey. Siren Song by Julian Moon. And the other one was Rainbow by Kesha. So those were the three that came out. They want one more. Be Still by Olivia, Georgia. So I will put all of those down in the description box. Please feel free to listen to them. It's good if you can put headphones on, all that stuff. It's great. I didn't even remember, but please do all the YouTube things, the likes, subscribes, the bells, whatever it is that they do. It'll let you know every time I post a new video. You can also check me out on Mama Lou Tarot on TikTok if you'd like that. You can also email me at mamalutarot@gmail.com if you would like a personal reading from me, and I will send you my the 3 readings that I have available, and we can start a conversation and get that going. Like I said, I love you very much. I'm sorry if this was, a little deep, a little harsh, but Mama Lou loves you very much. And I really appreciate these times where you, me, and the universe can have a good conversation. So, all right, I'll talk to you later. Love you.